Welcome back to Fiercely Unfiltered. I'm Kelly Renee, and I'm 48 years old, and I've been handed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to choose a new path for my life, but with no margin for error. And that sentence alone makes my chest tighten, because this doesn't feel like a beginning. It feels like I'm standing in the middle of everything I've already lived, every version of myself, every decision I thought was permanent, holding all of it at once, and being asked to decide what comes next with full awareness of what it cost me to get it wrong. I thought the trajectory of my life was already set. I thought the foundation was already built. I thought the big decisions were behind me. I already poured decades into a business. I was married. I was remarried. I had lived the life you're supposed to live. I really believed there were no redos at this point. So to be sitting here now with no safety net, no backup plan, no clear next step, trying to figure out what comes next, it's a lot. It's exciting. It's scary. It's heavy. It's freeing. It's all of it at the same time. And when you're younger, you grow up with the idea of what life is supposed to look like. You're supposed to get out of school, get married, have a family, build a life together. That's the story. That's the goal. And I did that. I did all of it. What no one really talks about is what happens after you live it. Because once you've lived it, you see it differently. The fantasy fades, and what's left is the reality. The reality is work. It's compromise. It's sacrifice. It's schedules and stress and constantly adjusting your life around everyone else's needs. It's waking up already behind. It's being the one who's figuring everything out, school drop-offs, school pickups, rearranging your workday when something comes up, being on call all the time. What's for dinner? What groceries are needed? Who has a doctor's appointment? Who has a dentist appointment? Who needs what signed? Who's sick? Who needs to be picked up early? Your life isn't really yours anymore. It's shared, it's allocated, it's spoken for before you even wake up. There's also the blended version of life, the one where you're trying to balance kids, a partner, where you're splitting your time and your energy and your attention, when you're constantly measuring. Did I give enough here? Did I take too much from there? Trying to make everyone feel like a priority while quietly never being one yourself. And if you're still someone who wants to work or build something or have a career, you don't get a break from any of that. You just do it on top of everything else. No extra space, no extra appreciation. That's just how it is. And you don't know that part when you're young. You can't. You imagine love and family and meaning. You don't imagine logistics. You don't imagine how much of yourself gets used up in the day-to-day. You only understand it once you've lived it. And I've lived it. I've also lived the version where you go all in, burn the ship, no backup plan, no exit strategy. Because you believe in what you're building. You believe if you fully commit, it will work. You believe that is what being responsible looks like. You believe that's what adults do. So when things get hard, you don't question the structure. You just carry more. You adjust, you accommodate, you stretch. You tell yourself that's commitment. And when it falls apart, what you lose isn't just the relationship. You lose the belief system. You lose the assumption that going all in protects you. You lose the idea that permanence is something you earn if you try hard enough. You realize how fast a life can disappear and how alone you are when it does. That changes you. It doesn't make you bitter. It makes you careful. And once you've been there, it's really hard to unsee it. Again, not blaming, just naming it. And now I'm standing in a place I've never expected to stand. I'm living alone for the first time in my life. I went from living with family to the army to marriage to family life to marriage again. I've always lived inside a structure that required me to adjust around other people. This is the first time my space is just mine. And the peace in that surprises me. It's not lonely. It's not empty. It's priceless. My time stays where I put it. My energy stays intact. I don't have to manage anyone else's emotions or expectations. I don't have to negotiate my needs. I don't have to explain why I need quiet or space. I wake up and my day is mine. I have time to take care of my body. I have time to train. I have time to eat in the way that actually supports me instead of just feeding a system. I can focus on my mental health, my routines, the things that actually keep me stable. Those things used to feel optional. Now they feel necessary. And the more I live like this, the more I understand why this decision in front of me feels so heavy. Because I don't believe in forever anymore. I don't believe in it the way I used to. I think in seasons now. I've watched jobs end. I've watched money disappear. I've watched identities fall apart when roles ended. I've watched things I thought were stable stop being there. Nothing announces when it's over. You only know after. So I don't organize my life around permanence anymore. I don't assume things will last just because I want them to. There's peace in that, but there's also weight. Because when you understand that nothing is guaranteed, every decision matters more. I don't have the energy to keep rebuilding after mistakes. I don't want to choose something temporary just to feel safe right now. I don't want to build another life that collapses the moment someone else changes their mind. A partnership means sharing control. It means trusting someone else with your stability, your future, and your sense of safety. I know how fragile that can be. Not because love is bad, not because people are bad, just because life is unpredictable and other people have the power to undo everything you've built without meaning to. So I'm here, undecided, unrushed, not panic, not desperate, just aware. Aware of what I've lived, aware of what it cost, aware of what I'm not willing to give up again. This isn't me shutting down. It's me choosing carefully because I understand seasons now. And because whatever comes next needs to be something I can actually live in, not survive, not manage, live in. And I think what really changed me was realizing that even the things that were supposed to outlast the relationship didn't. We built things together, but they weren't built for the relationship. They were built to stand on their own. My business was supposed to outlast feelings. It was supposed to be bigger than us. It was supposed to be solid no matter what happened personally. And it didn't. To watch something that was built on what I believed was a strong foundation be destroyed because of someone else's emotions was eye-opening. It was disheartening, destabilizing. So I didn't think that was even a possibility. I understood relationships could end. I didn't understand that something functional, successful, and independent could disappear just because someone didn't want it anymore. That changes how you see everything. It makes you realize how fragile structures really are. How much of what we call stable is still tied to other people's choices, other people's feelings, other people's willingness to keep showing up. And once you see that, you don't assume anything is untouchable anymore. Not work, not money, not identity, not the future you thought you were protecting yourself with. That realization sits underneath every decision I think about making now. Because if something that solid could disappear, then I have to build differently going forward. I have to think differently. I have to be honest about how much control I actually have. And that's uncomfortable to admit. And that's also why I'm in the position I'm in right now. Because when you burn the ship, you don't keep a backup. You don't keep a cushion. You don't hold something on the side just in case. You pour everything back in. You reinvest. You believe. You build as if this is it. Your business becomes the future, the safety, the retirement, the thing that's supposed to hold you when you're done holding everyone else. So when that goes away, it's not just losing income. It's losing the thing you planned your entire life around. It's realizing that all the effort, all the discipline, all the sacrifice that was supposed to create security didn't do that at all. And that messes with your head because you don't even know what to believe anymore. You don't know what actually protects you. You don't know what's solid and what's just another illusion. You start questioning everything. The way you planned, the way you trusted, the way you gave everything to something because you thought it would last. And that's where the hesitation comes from. Not fear, not laziness, just the awareness that there's no margin for error anymore. If I'm choosing wrong now, there's no safety net underneath. There's no savings to fall back on. There's no structure waiting to catch me. So I have to be careful. I have to be honest. I have to slow down, not because I'm afraid to live, but because I finally understand what it costs when things don't work out. Until next time.